Hi guys, I wanted to make a quick video just to show those who are stitching the Phenology wheel along with me how to create your own patterns and how to transfer them onto your fabric. So what I've got here is the one that I designed. I actually designed this on my iPad, but I realized that not all of you are going to have an iPad. But if you do, that is an option. You can draw it on there. I'm using Procreate. However, if you do not have an iPad, you can just sketch it on a piece of paper. You don't need to be an artist. You can print things out on the internet and trace them. So every kit or the fabric that I sell, I'm also including this little booklet, and inside the booklet is a template that fits right inside the little slices so that you can design your own pattern. And you're gonna need 12 of these. So the best way to do that is to either, if you have a light table, you can use a light table, or you can take this piece out of the booklet and put it up in a sunny window. And I'm just gonna use my light table because that's what I've got. And then you can place a piece of paper over it, and then you can see through to trace the little wedge. So then you can just take a pencil, trace the basic outline. It doesn't need to be perfect, of the wedge. And then you can do that every month so that you have a fresh little wedge to start out with to design your pattern. If you feel like your artistic skills are lacking and you see a plant or an animal that you would like to include in your Phenology wheel, you can snap a picture of it and print it out, and you can also trace that on your light table. It helps if you make it black and white and like up the contrast a little bit. That will help with the tracing for your ability to see it. You can also find pictures of whatever it is you observed in nature and print those out and trace them. As long as you're not going to be like selling this, you can look at what other people have online and take inspiration from their drawings and embroider them for your own personal use. And then once you have your design sketched out, I would go back over that with like a fine point Sharpie or a marker or even a dark pen just to make the lines darker for whatever your design is. And next you would take your design and put it on a light table or tape it up in a sunny window. And then you can take your fabric, line it up with the wedge, and then you can see through to trace your design. My light table that I will link to in the description below can get brighter or dimmer. And I always thought that if I had it brighter, that would make it easier for me to trace. But in reality, when it's dimmer, I can see the lines better. So you can play around with that a little bit if you've got a light table. There are several different ways to transfer your patterns. My preferred method is to use these Pilot friction pens. These are the gel pens. I haven't used any other kind, mostly because I really like using this light gray color. And I've looked around and you can actually buy per color at Michael's. You can choose like to only buy the light gray ones instead of having to buy a big pack. Mine's actually out of ink right now. I know, sad, I need to go buy more. So I'm gonna be just using a black one. Just a word of warning, if this gets in cold temperatures, the lines will come back. So make sure that you are still covering your lines when you stitch, even when you use this. I just use this as kind of a fail-safe for if I happen to make a mark out of place somewhere, that you can run a blow dryer over your work and the lines will disappear with heat. But again, they can come back in the cold, but you can also go back over it with a blow dryer again if the lines come back, and they'll disappear again. So use that with that disclaimer in mind. I have a blog post about all different kinds of transfer methods and the pros and cons that I will leave a link to in the description as well. So I'm actually going to put this on a medium brightness, and what we'll do is just follow the lines. I can see them on here, and with the pen, gently trace over the design that I made. And then I'll turn off the light so you can see that a little better. So that gives me a really nice, clear line to follow, which is super helpful when you're doing work in a small area like this. That's why I just prefer using these, but use whatever you feel comfortable with, and finish tracing your pattern, and then you're ready to stitch it for the next month on your Phenology wheel. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll also leave a link to the fabric that you can purchase and to the pens. Head over to my blog, cutesicrafts.com, to get the free patterns for this and for each of the months, and subscribe to my blog and my YouTube channel for more fun craft ideas.